Hi guys, Rudy here. I'm making an update to the Witch Doctor guide that I've posted a few weeks ago, which was back on the PDR, and now it's season 20. I've actually played a little bit, and I want to show a little bit of the changes that I made to optimize it. And I think this is actually the most optimized setup here that you can play in T16. And I'm not really gonna go over every single detail. So if you want that, then check out the other guide, and here's like a little bit more of the changes that I've done, so that you understand, why I chose certain things and so on. So the base idea is the Mundunugu set, Manitou killing everything. You have Barber engaging the mice above the Manitou damage. And on top of that, you have a few key items that increase your efficiency in T16. So first of all, we have Ingeum, and we pair this with the Grave Injustice passive. And this makes it so that you can basically spam all your abilities all the time. It's pretty straightforward for most T16 builds. Ingeum is just a very nice choice in general. And this will really help you to spirit walk on cooldown and so on. So it's really nice. Then the first important changes I made is taking more movement speed. So I changed the Big Bird Voodoo rune from the mana region to the zombie dog rune. So basically you spawn 3 zombie dogs all the time, and you can pair this with the Fierce Loyalty passive, giving you 15% movement speed in combat, and also 30% out of combat. So on average, it's probably something like 20-25% movement speed. It's really nice. And on top of that, we also have about second arm guards. So originally I had Gloves of Worship and Ring of Fire Grandeur, but I decided to just go with those bracers for basically almost permanent 50% extra movement speed. But second arm guards are really good. And lastly, we have Ring of Emptiness and Locust Storm of Pestilence. And yeah, the build is quite strong in T16. You don't really need a lot of damage to kill anything, but I chose to use this, and I actually dropped Harrington Waistguard and some other damage and so on, because Ring of Emptiness is extremely strong and you can apply it with only one cast. So basically what I do is for yellow elites, or sometimes when there's like a really big pull, or on Rift Guardians, I just pop one Locust Swarm and it will spread to everything within seconds, and you can basically one-shot like everything including the Rift Guardian. This is especially nice when you're like a little bit undergeared, or when you're farming in 4-man. Like I happen to be in 4-man Rift games quite often, and when I'm the only one clearing it and everyone else is leeching or something, then the Rift Guardian might take a few seconds without Ring of Emptiness, and I want to one-shot it. So this is really helpful here, and like this, we don't really need Harrington Waistguard, which is actually an item I really like, but I chose to go this way basically. There's no other skill you can take on the left click anyway, and this will make it so that you will have no trouble, just killing everything, even when you're really undergeared. Other than that, the playstyle is still the same. So you basically walk around. When you run to a rift, you put down 3 phantasms. So you have a big Manitou on top of you that just shoots everything around you. And then you run into a pack with Spirit Walk, get your Soul Harvester stacks up for movement speed, get your Horrify going with Wretch's Ring for the extra movement speed from fearing something, and try to keep up the Voodoo at all times, but that should be a big issue with the cooldown items that I mentioned. And yeah, other than that, it's pretty straightforward. Just make sure you not waste your time when you're fighting elites, for example. You can use those 1 or 2 seconds that it takes them to die to cast new phantasms, or to cast a Big Bear Voodoo, because those actually have casting animations. And if you want to be really fast in T16, you want to avoid stopping to cast anything unless you have to. So since most of the time on elites you have to wait a second, this is the perfect time to actually do that. If you really want to run a Sage set, I would suggest to take Ring of Fire Grandeur instead of Ring of Emptiness, and equip the Sage Belt plus 1 other item. And then you would have to probably drop the second arm guards, because you still want the gold wrap. Gold wrap is the only thing keeping you alive, so you'd have to cube that over second arm guards. And like this, you can kind of make the Sage set work. But usually I don't really care about that, so I just run T16 and I pick up all the Death Breath, and that is usually fine to keep you filled up on that Death Breath. But yeah, it's just an option you can take. If you want to make this build viable for bounties, I would not necessarily change anything. You could change out the Nemesis Bracer, so you can equip the 1 second arm guards for the movement speed. But other than that, there's not really anything really crazy good. So you can take something like King 3 for faster casting. You can take the Furnace. You can take Lacumba's Ornament maybe to get some damage reduction. Maybe Sacred Harvester for the extra move speed. So there's a few options like that. It really comes down to what you prefer, and which bounties you usually do. So yeah, it's just, you know, some options I want to mention here. But generally, this build is just as viable for the T16 bounties. Witch Doctor is not the best class of bounties, but it's definitely decent, and you can still do really, really fast runs and, you know, kind of compete with the Demon Hunters and Monks out there. Anyway, I hope you liked this little update on the guide, so you know a little bit of, you know, what I'm doing with my T16 Witch Doctor right now. And I'll see you guys next time.